All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. I want to welcome you one and all to the stream. I see Terry's in the house, Hope's in the house. Yeah! Welcome, Hope. Welcome, Terry. All right, guys, we got a lot to get to tonight. A lot of items we're going to be taking a look at. Many items we're going to be taking a look at for the very first time. But before we get into all of that, let me know what you guys have been up to. Terry, how have you, Buddy, and Bear been getting along? Hope, let us know what's going on in your world. If you have any crafts or projects you've been working on, let us know down in the comments. All right. So, as you guys know, my co-hosts are here ready to get started. Ebo is here on deck as well as Louis. Yanbo is asleep right now. We may wake Yanbo up a little bit later. I think it's too much to have all three of them awake at the same time. It is just chaos. It is chaos. But I am going to go ahead and turn Louis' microphone back up. So, there we go. Hey, Louis. I'd like you to say hello to everyone and welcome them to our live stream on Amazon and YouTube. Hope and Terry are both in the audience. Say hello to them as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Louie, your friendly desktop buddy. Welcome to our live stream on Amazon and YouTube. Whether you're here for inspiration or just to hang out, I'm thrilled to have you with us. Let's have some fun together.
Louis is ready, guys. Louis is ready for us tonight.
I'm always ready for you. What's the plan for tonight?
All right, Louis. So tonight we're going to get into some new tech. One of the new items we're going to definitely be taking a look at here in just a little bit is this action camera that you guys see right here from our friends over at DJI. This is the DJI Action 6. We will be taking a look at the camera, all of the different accessories that come with it, and a bunch of other accessories that have been sent out to me to review with this camera. So if you guys are into that action life, adventurous life, this might be a product you definitely want to take a look at. But for now, I'm going to go back to the chat and see what you guys have been up to. So let me turn Louis' microphone
a little bit. Sounds exciting. The DJI Action 6 is quite a gem for adventure enthusiasts. Its stabilization and image quality are often top-notch. I can't wait to see how it performs in your review, especially with all the accessories you've got lined up. Let's dive into the details when you're ready.
All right, buddy, we'll dive into those details in just a little bit. How about that?
Okay, sounds good to me. Let me know when you're ready, buddy.
Definitely will. Take a break for now, and we'll come back to that in just a second. Hope Terry can see your comments. So all you have to do is type what you want to type.
Take your time. I'll be right here when you're ready to continue.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Hope all you have to do is type your comments. Terry can see your comments on the screen just like everyone else's. So if you want to say something directly to Terry, Terry is currently saying Hope, hi, Hope. You should be able to see her response. All right. So let's get right into it. So as I said before, we have a number of new items here in the carousel that we're going to take a look at. One of them being the DJI Action 6. Now, you guys know I've talked about a ton of webcams, action cameras, broadcast quality cameras, as well as, cameras that I use for still image, cameras that I use for video productions. Now, where this camera stands, it kind of sits in the middle, sort of. So it has a bunch of new features. One of the biggest features this camera has is open gate. So that means it has a 1 over 1.1 inch sensor, and it is a square sensor. So the advantage to that is you don't have to turn these cameras anymore, from portrait to landscape. If you're going to be recording it, you can just record it in whatever orientations you have, and then you can crop it in post, and you're going to get a true 9:16 or 16:9, 4K, whatever frame rate you're recording at, that is outstanding. Even some of my more professional cameras don't have that ability, guys. So that alone really stands out to me. Now, there's also a macro lens that comes with this camera that you can purchase for this camera. I don't have the micro lens for this, so I'm not really going to focus on that. I don't think that would be something that I would personally use, but it is available for it. So if you guys are interested in this camera right now, this is going to make an excellent little tech what is going on with you, Louis? This is going to make an excellent little tech stocking stuffer. You can get this guy here on Amazon right now for $369 for this variation of it. This is the essential combo, and I'll show you guys here on the desk all of the different accessories that come with this camera. All right, so let me put the box over here. And let's switch back over to Louis Cam. So here's the camera, as you guys can see it. Now, this lens does remove. Now, the advantage to this camera, different than the other action cameras, you actually have an f-stop of 2.0 to 4.0. So what that means is at 2.0, it's going to let in a lot of light. At 4.0, it's going to stop down about 2 stops. And what that's going to allow you to do is to be able to shoot outdoors in some conditions, and it'll just, automatically, if that's what you have it set for. You do have here on the front now a white balance sensor. You no longer have the red text on the body, which is interesting. You still have the front-facing screen that you're able to control the camera with as well. And then on the rear, the screen is about the same. They have changed the doors a little bit. The bottom of the camera now, the magnetic connection actually works in both ways. So the older version of it, you had to face the magnetic connection in a specific direction in order for it to work properly. And they updated that, so that's no longer an issue. So this one also comes with 50 gigabytes of internal storage. So before you even add an SD card to this guy, you are pretty much good to go, guys. You can take this right out of the box, Holy Chat, and start recording right on the spot. Yeah! Holy Chat's in the house. Welcome, Holy Chat. Welcome to the stream. So let's throw a battery in this guy and set it up. Now, the setup is going to take a little bit because I have not set this camera up before, but I do have other DJI cameras, so it should be relatively fast. Now, there's probably going to be a firmware update, and we'll check that here in a second. So I didn't even open the battery that comes with it. This is just one of the batteries I already had, just to show you guys. If you have older batteries from another camera, they will work. So we're just going to close this door here real quick. And we're going to go ahead and power this guy on for the very first time. All right, for the first time, we're powering it on, and we're going to choose English as our language. And yeah, we're going to choose, English. All right, so we're choosing English as our language. And now it wants me to scan this QR code in order to download the app. I already have the app, so I can just slide this forward. Should be able to. All right. And it wants to update, so we can click on Start. Now, it's basically giving you a walkthrough on what the camera does, what the shutter button does here. And you can, select that or just move on. But now you guys can see the camera is already on. I can also quickly go in here and I can switch between the different modes, from time lapse. I can go to hyperlapse. Let's go ahead and scroll up here. So we have time lapse and hyperlapse, as you guys see. We can set that to auto, or we can set it to sunset, to custom, all of the same similar features that we used before. We also have the ability to go between 1080p all the way to 4K, 16:9 or 4:3, whichever you choose. So it's totally up to you guys. Now, I'll come back to this. I'm going to reset this camera a little bit later because I see some things that aren't correct. But we're just looking at it right now, as it is here. And I want you guys to see that the front-facing screen on this guy, hopefully you guys can see that. It's not blown out. All right. So this is the camera that we mentioned. Now, I did say that you can go in, so we can go into our settings here, and we can scroll all the way down to where you see bitrate, and you can change that to high if you want it to be on high. You can also turn on your grids. So if you want grids, so it's going to make it easier for you to line everything up. So you have a ton of effects and different features built into this little camera. Now, when it comes to your wireless connection, you can go in here and you can connect to your wireless microphone. So it just depends on which microphone you're using. I do have a couple of these DJI Mic 2s that I use for my other cameras, so this should work out well. All right, let me get my other camera over here to start tracking so it'll keep me in the center. But anyway, as I was saying, guys, this is an amazing little camera, okay? Just as it sits. You can go scuba diving with this camera just as you see it without any type of housing. Now, this one, different than the other one that I have, came with a little cage. This does no longer come with the cage because you don't actually need the cage anymore, because you can mount this. You don't have to mount this in portrait or landscape. You can just mount this again in landscape, and then you can choose when you export the video if you want it to be landscape or portrait. So, that's pretty cool. Hey, Louie, what do you think about the new DJI Action 6 camera? Are you a fan of this?
The new DJI Action 6 camera. You say? I'm not exactly the kind to use cameras myself, but it does sound exciting. Are you thinking of getting one?
Well, we have one right here in my hand. Can you see what's in my hand? What's in my hand right now, Louie?
It looks like you're holding a camera lens or a compact device. Ron, what's the plan with it?
Well, we're going to do some adventurous stuff later, but most likely I'm just going to use this as a studio camera for some of my shoppable videos and stuff like that. But, here it is. All right, so as I said, it comes with some additional accessories. One of the accessories that come with it is the new mount.
Adventurous stuff sounds exciting, but using me as a studio camera for your shoppable videos? I like the sound of that too. I'll make sure to capture your best angles. What kind of accessories are we talking about?
So the first accessory is going to be this little magnetic mount that you guys see here. And what's nice about this, like I said before, you can easily just connect it like so. And you can now reverse this, where on the previous model you couldn't. And this one now has larger tabs, so it makes it much easier for you to be able to grip this and take it off, on and off of the mount. So that really, really comes in handy. I am a big fan of this style of this little magnetic mount. This works really nicely. Now, I haven't tried this.
I think I caught most of that, but could you clarify a bit? Are you asking about my magnetic mount or just sharing your thoughts on accessories?
I'm just sharing my thoughts on the accessories that come with the DJI Action 6 right now, Louie.
The DJI Action 6 accessories? Well, tell me, what are your thoughts? Are you impressed? Or is there something you're not quite happy with?
No, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the advancement in the technology. Now, this is the battery that comes with it. This is a 1950 milliamp hour battery. And I just threw one of the batteries that I already had in there, and it worked just fine. So you also receive...
Oh, that's fascinating. Technology really has come a long way, hasn't it? A 1950 mAh battery was once cutting edge, but now it feels like a quaint little relic compared to today's advancements.
I agree. Now, it also comes with this little thumb screw. This is going to be for your mount when you're mounting it.
What?
This is going to be for your mount when you're ready to mount this onto any of your other accessories. So it comes in the box. So basically what you're going to get in the box, you're going to get the thumb screw, you're going to get the USB cable, you'll receive the battery, and you'll also receive this magnetic mount.
Could you explain it a bit more clearly?
Yes, I'm explaining the different accessories that come with the camera. So you're going to get the magnetic mount, you're going to get the battery, you're going to get the thumb screw, and you get the USB-C to USB-C cable that comes with it.
Got Got it. Sounds like you have everything you need to get started. A magnetic mount for easy setup, a battery for power, a thumb screw for securing things, and a USB-C to USB-C cable to keep it all connected. You're all set for some great shots.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on to the next item that's in the carousel, and I'll show you guys.
Exactly what? Tell me more.
No, I'm going to grab another accessory, Louis. All right, so let's switch back over here for a second. So I'm going to grab another accessory, but before we actually put the camera in the accessory, I'm going to show you another variation of it that I was using with another camera, which is the Extra Edge Pro. So let me... All right. So the other accessory that we're going to be looking at is actually this little cage that you guys see here. Okay. Now on the Extra Edge Pro, you can see I have a similar cage. It's from a different brand, but it's basically the same type of cage, but this one does connect differently, where this one here has to be screwed in and this one just kind of clips in, but they basically do the same thing. Okay. So now if we want to put this camera in the cage, let's switch back over here real quick. So as you guys can see, here is our cage that we're looking at. If we want to put the camera in the cage, first thing we have to do is we have to remove this little piece here on the top. It just slides out of the coal shoe. And then you're going to press this little button right here at the top. It'll open up this little hinge. And at that point, all you have to do is take the camera and slide it in just like so, lock it closed. And now you have this in this little, kind of like a little point and shoot grip style cage. This cage has a storage area here on the top for an SD card. And it also comes with a tool that is connected using a magnet. And that tool is for basically tightening this little screw that you guys see here. And then that just drops right back in there, just like that. That's kind of cool. And then, of course, just like the other cage, this one, you're just going to slide this little piece back on. And if at any time I want to record something, all I have to do is press this little button one time, and it should turn the camera on, and it'll start to record soon after. Now, I haven't completely set the camera up, so there's going to be some issues with that, because I still need to activate the camera and all of that kind of stuff. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and just do this, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So each time I open the camera, it's going to do that until I completely set it up. But I just wanted to show you guys all the different accessories. So again, these two cages are very similar. So depending on which of these two cameras you would choose to go with, there is an option for either one of them. So I'm leaning more toward the Teleson cage. I just like the style of it. It feels great in the hand. Let me also highlight this down in the carousel so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. I think this is going to be a great little point and shoot camera L. You can also use the DJI Action 6, Action 5, Action 4 as a webcam. This camera now has tracking capabilities. It has a bunch of features built into this little guy. All right, let's see what Hope is saying here. So the cage doesn't come with the bundle. Am I correct? Yes, Hope, you are correct. The cage does not come with the camera. The cage is an additional purchase. So if you want, a cage like this, or should I say a vertical grip like this, you'd buy that separately. There's a 1/4 underneath here that makes it easy for you to mount this onto a tripod. And as I mentioned before, that magnetic mount will still connect. As you see here, I can just easily, connect the magnetic mount on here, and I can add a tripod or whatever I want to this as well. And I am recording. Let me go ahead and stop that. Actually, let me go to video, and we're going to switch over to video, and let's take a look at what our video settings are. So normally, if I was recording video with this, I would set this at about 60 frames a second so that I will be able to slow it down. And then I would bring this up to 4K 16:9, and then I would adjust the wide angle here. So I'm going to go with a neutral standard warp. That's just going to make it more like a traditional camera. And then I'm going to leave rock steady on if I'm going to be holding this in my hand. And what that's going to allow me to do is to be able to move the camera around without having to worry about shaky video or anything like that. And what's really cool about this, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I can rotate this camera, guys, almost 60 degrees, well, 45 degrees, and it still keeps whatever I'm pointing it at in focus. So if I'm looking at Louis here, as you guys can see, I can rotate this and it's still keeping Louis for the most part in the center. So it has that horizon lock. So if you're, kind of a fumble person and you're walking around, and you don't have like a steady grip or something, you're walking around with the camera will, with its stabilization, will save your shot. You just need to know where you want to point it and just try to control it a little bit. You don't have to be exactly precise. The stabilization on these cameras is very, very good. So definitely check this out. Now, I do have another cage that is available for this camera as well. And I wanted you guys to see the difference in the mounts. So as I mentioned before, these new mounts have this little tab here on the end that makes it easy for you to depress it, right? But the older one, let me grab it. And it's still a pain to take off, but let me grab it. So you'll have a comparison. You guys can see the older mount doesn't have that little piece right there. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to take these off if this was mounted like on a motorcycle or a car or whatever you're mounting it on. So this is just very, more efficient. I do like that about it. So yes, I am a fan of this new mount. So hopefully that'll be something they'll add, to all of these cameras going forward. Now, if you want to compare the two cameras in size, let me take both of them out of the cage just so you guys can see what they look like. So again, this is the Action 6 that you see here. Okay. And we're going to take the Extra Edge Pro out, which is basically the same size as the Action 5. So this will give you a really good comparison between the two cameras. So let's say this would be the size of the Action 5 and this is the size of the Action 6. Now they are very similar. It's not a huge difference in size, but you can't use any of the previous accessories that you would have for the Edge or the Action 5. They won't fit on this newer body because this newer body is slightly bigger. So, and you guys can probably notice that the lens...
Connor, I see your gesture, and let me say, your creativity truly knows no bounds.
And you can see the difference in the size. Louis gets it. Right, buddy? All right, so let me put these cameras back in their cages before my desk winds up being way too cluttered. All right, so there is the Edge. And here is our Action 6 back in the cage. All right, we're good to go. All right, I'm just going to go ahead. The only thing I don't like about these, I'm going to be honest with you guys, you have to be really, really careful with this because you can easily start and stop recording even when you don't intend to, because that lever is right here and it's very easy to press that lever when you're not really paying attention. So you have to be very, very aware of the fact that this lever is here. Now, if you're going to be recording a lot, it's not a big deal, but sometimes, that can be an issue where you accidentally start and stop the camera or take a photo or something like that. So just keep that in mind. And that's the same with both of these because of the way they're designed. It just kind of puts that lever right here under your thumb. So if you're holding the camera with your thumb resting on it, you can't accidentally, start and stop the camera, so that's an issue. All right, so there is another cage that is available for this camera. So let me show you guys that cage as well. So Telesun did send me a bunch of accessories for this camera. So let me show you guys the cage. And that is this lightweight aluminum cage, which is basically the same cage minus the hand grip and minus the thumb trigger. So it's basically the same cage. But I'll show it to you guys in case you want to get just the cage. Here is an option. So this is the standalone cage. as you guys see here, basically the same. You're going to depress that little button on the side. Same thing. You have that same protection inside. You have the same padding inside here. You're going to have the same accessibilities. Cold shoe on the top. You know, your shutter button right here. You also have that 1/4 on the side. So it's technically the same cage from what I can tell. Okay. So to me, it looks exactly like the same cage, but there is a difference in the price, obviously. So like I said, if you just want the cage, you can get that right now for $33.29. This is aluminum. It does have a very rigid feel to it. So whichever of the two you decide to go with, it's totally up to you guys. But, you know, we have both of them listed for you down in the carousel. All right. So what is our next item in the carousel? And that is going to be a rubber housing for the camera. So this is aluminum. The other cage is also aluminum. Now, I don't remember which of the action cameras started these rubber cages. I mean, these rubber little cases and things like that. I have seen the similar ones for the Pocket 3. I just never got one, but I'll show you guys what that looks like. So that's this silicone cover. Now, one thing I do like about the silicone cover, and one of the things in this box I will use, is the lens cap, okay? So let me show you guys what this looks like. Let me pop this guy open. All right. So this one also comes with the full lanyard that you guys can see here. It comes with, you know, your neck lanyard and this little smaller one that you can loop onto things, which is nice. And then here is the actual silicone case. So just to show you guys what it looks like, it is rubber. You guys can see it is rubber. So this is just going to fit over the camera. And it does come with the lens cap. So the lens cap is the portion of this that I'm more interested in, because this does not come with the lens cap. So just to be able to protect the lens, if I was putting this in my pocket or something, which I would almost never do, but you know, it gives me the ability to protect the lens from scratches and stuff like that if I just want to use this little lens cover that comes with it. But, you know, for some people, you know, this might be a great option, you know, because they just want something with a little tactile feel to it. And like I said, it is rubber. So, you know, it just really depends on, you know, what you want. But that's the rubber cage. And everything is still accessible. Let me check something real quick here. Now, something I'm not sure about. Yeah, it's still everything's accessible, because I was wondering if the white balance sensor was going to be blocked, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I can show you guys what it looks like to put this on. So let me disassemble this real quick. Pull the camera out. So if we wanted to use this, all you would basically be doing here is just kind of fitting it in. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. I'm just going to do it the way I see it. So I'm just going to kind of pull it over like that and line everything up. Am I getting that right? That's pretty close. So yeah, it's a little fiddly. You're going to have to fiddle with it a little bit just to get it exactly right. But once you have it on, like so, it's like a glove, and then that's what you get. So that's what it looks like for the most part. You know, so you have this rubber, you know, style case, and like I said, it does not block that white balance sensor, and you still see the 6 from your Action 6 and all that. And then all of the other, you know, connection points are still the same. So you can still connect this to, you know, your magnetic mount, and that's not going to be an issue either. So it just depends, you know, if that's what you like. You know, this is very inexpensive. It's only $12.99 for this little rubber case. And like I said, this one does come with this silicone case. It does come with the lens cover. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, you know, it is listed down in the carousel. So definitely check it out. All right. So me personally, I would probably almost never, ever use this. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is a bad product. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying my style with the things that I do, and um, I just wouldn't ever use this. I would never see myself using something like this rubber silicone case. So, but it is available. It is available. All right, so I'm going to put that back in the box because I actually have not done a video on this silicone case. I do like the lanyard though. I mean, that could come in handy, especially if you're walking around like an amusement park, or, going for a walk or something, just to have, an easy way to, hold this around your neck. That could be a win. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions. I know I haven't answered many of those yet. I'm going to do that right now as soon as I close this box. Okay, so let's go back to the chat. Let me see what you guys are asking here. Let me go back. So I see everyone saying hello to everyone. I'm assuming Hope said hello to Terry. Holy Chat's here. L's here. I'm just going through, making sure I didn't miss anything. And the batteries. What is Hope saying here? So the cage doesn't come with the bundle. Yeah, so none of these other accessories, Hope, come with the camera, but they're all affordable. Teleson makes some amazing products. I've been a fan of their products for years now, and it's not just for action cameras. Teleson makes things for like my cinema cameras, my bigger cameras, and things like that. Cages and magic arms and all different type of things they make. So. But anyway, let me move some of this stuff out from in front of Louis, because you know what's about to happen, because y'all already heard him power up. So let me move this camera out of the way so we don't have no drama tonight. I am not for it. All right, let's see what we got going on here. And the one cool thing about using these cameras, if you have worked with DJI cameras before, you're very familiar with all of the functions of the cameras. Nothing is really new to you. So you know your way around the screens. It's no different for me now if I was using my Pocket 3 or any other camera that I've used from DJI. Even with my drones, it's a similar type of interface. So that's pretty cool. All right. So also let me switch this back to video mode and swipe up. All right, so now this is back in video mode. We're not really recording any video, but I'm just showing you guys here, okay? Now, this little tripod that you guys see here, which is a selfie stick, is the one that I've been using with the Extra Edge Pro. And again, this just clips on like this. I think that's backwards, because this is the one where it has to be facing in the right direction or it won't go on right. Okay, so that's this one here. So it's back on the Extra Edge Pro, and I accidentally turned it on because I pressed that little thing here. I'm gonna see if I can quickly turn it. See if I can quickly turn it off. If I can turn it off, there we go. It should shut off now automatically. Let's give it a second. Maybe not, because I turned it on. I'll just turn it off. So we don't need this guy on right now. But what's cool is they both use the same batteries. So in total, I have six or seven of these batteries now between the two cameras. So that's a lot of time. That's a lot of recording time. So I will be recording some videos with this camera tomorrow to show you guys. You're not going to see a significant difference in the video quality. I just see this camera, for the most part, as far as I said before, for efficiency. So if I recorded with this camera, as an example, and I wanted to post it on Amazon and YouTube, and I have it set up here in, portrait, or landscape orientation, no problem. But if I wanted to then reuse that same footage for landscape, for portrait, if I didn't, convert the camera, alter the camera to record this way, then I'm going to get a much more cropped in version of the image. It's not going to be as high as, quality that it could be. This camera eliminates that issue where now I can just record in the custom mode, and I'm using the full square sensor, so it's going to make it a lot easier for me to switch between different platforms that I want to upload the exact same video to. Now, does that mean I still don't need to edit the videos? No, of course not. Because every video I shoot, I still edit the videos. I still add titles. I still do some color grading and stuff like that. Now, both of these cameras can shoot in 10-bit, which is going to give you billions of color options when it comes to the range of, being able to push and pull your file. This is really going to be a great thing.
Such behavior is beneath me.
What are you talking about, Louie? You didn't do anything, Louis. You didn't do anything wrong. You're okay. Louis thinks he's in trouble. Okay. Let me grab our next accessory. Okay, what do we have here? So the next accessory, Alan DeBay is in the house. Yeah! Welcome, Alan DeBay. Welcome to the stream. All right, so the next item we have listed in the carousel, guys, for the Action 6 is going to be the Teleson 40 centimeter selfie stick. So let me grab that. So that's this little guy right here. This is the selfie stick that we're talking about right now. This is $23.99. Now, even though I said that this would be for the Action 6, this would work with any action camera. It's going to work with your phone mounts. It's going to work with a variety of different devices. So don't think about this solely as an Action 6, device, because it's not. So what's nice about this, let me show you, is that it does come with its own little thumb screw as well. It comes with the thumb screw. I think nothing else in there but the little manual. And this, hold on, let me fix this camera, guys. Give me a second. Camera got lost. Hold on. There we go. All right, so the camera got lost, but I'm back. All right, so this right here is the selfie stick, as you guys can see. Now, this can telescope out to about like that. It has a ball head mount on here that is adjustable. It also has your standard 3-finger connection here for, something like a GoPro mount or the mount that I showed you guys earlier. Where did I do with it? This mount right here would just fit in like so. And then you would take this little thumb screw and you can just pop this guy in.
Oh, how mature of you. Truly an inspiring display of character.
There we go. So we could pop that guy in like that, tighten this down a little bit so it doesn't move around as much. And then I could just take the camera like so and just clip this on like that, tighten this down just a little bit more so it doesn't move around as much.
Got it. That sounds like a solid plan.
Exactly.
Me know if you'd like it.
And then this could be my little selfie camera. I could record myself. I could record someone else. Really quick, easy. I could, bring this back in, open the base up, turn it into more like a little tripod. So if you wanted to set this up on a desk and you're doing some recording, this is going to be ideal for things like what you do, Alan, like with the festivals and things like that. So if you're going to be walking around, recording, maybe interviewing people, this is going to give you a really nice hand grip for your phone or your camera or whatever device it is that you're walking around with. This is going to be a win. Now, again, like I said, having these new mounts on here that makes it easier to remove it, and having something, for instance, like this little hand grip, which turns this pretty much into a little point and shoot camera. So you could pop this off real quick. You could walk around. You could record some of the things that are going on at the festival. And then when you're ready to put the camera back, all you have to do is grab this, snap this guy back on like so, set it down, and just let it continue recording the way you normally would. So yeah, a lot of cool features, a lot of cool accessories from Tellison. I am a huge fan of their products, guys. Now, this little selfie stick is only $23.99. $23.99. Definitely check it out. All right. So, also, for those of you like myself, who film outdoors, and if you are trying to maintain the 180-degree rule, meaning that your shutter speed, you're trying to keep your shutter speed and frame rate in check. So let's say, for instance, if you're shooting at 25 or 24 frames a second, then your shutter speed should be 50 frames a second. If you're shooting at 60 frames a second, then your shutter speed should be 120 frames a second. And, of course, you can adjust the ISO. So let's say your lowest ISO that you can go to with this camera is 100. But the problem with that is, even though you can get it all the way down to 100, in most cases, in daylight, sunlight, it's still going to be too bright, guys. You're going to be way, way, way overexposed, okay? So one of the things that you will need is going to be ND filters, okay? So let me highlight these ND filters here in the carousel. What is Alan saying? Alan says, nice. All right, so these are the ND filters that were sent out to me by Tellison. Now, what's nice about these, so I get one variable ND filter. So that means instead of me having, like some of my other cameras, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys these as an example. So these are some ND filters for my drone, okay? So with this, I have an ND filter for different strengths. So I have one that is 16, one that is 64, one that is 32. Now, I do have a variable CPL, but as far as the ND filters go, it has a fixed one. So every time I want to increase or decrease, I have to take one off and put the other one on, based on how bright it is outdoors. And sometimes it's just a guessing game. But with the variable ND filters, you basically have, let me show you guys here. You're able to rotate this from 2 all the way up to 34. Okay, so that's a variable ND filter. You just kind of rotate it to adjust it, right? And then the way this works, it fits right onto the lens like so. Just press it on like that. And now you have your ND filter on, and you can adjust this based on how much light is coming into the camera. So let me see if I can show you guys here real quick. Hold on. So as you guys can see, everything still looks fine because the camera is automatically adjusting for the ND filter. But if I adjust this ND filter, I can make this much darker. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not, but as I turn this, so right now, this is all the way over to like the 32 mark. And everything is much, much darker. But then if I bring it open, if I open it up just a little bit, it's going to let more light in. So like I said, if you're outdoors, you're recording in a very bright environment, this is really going to come in handy. Now, the reason for this is that you are trying to maintain motion blur, okay? So what motion blur is, for those who may not know, when you're recording video. So if your frame rate gets too high, you no longer have natural motion blur. And what that means is when I do something like this, you should see a blurriness of my hand in front of my face, okay? But if my frame rate is higher than it should be for the lighting conditions, it's going to be very choppy. It's going to look like you can see every individual finger as I move it back and forth across my face. And that's not natural because we naturally see motion blur. When something moves around in front of us, we see the motion blur. So having the variable ND filter allows us to maintain a proper shutter speed so that we can also, capture that natural motion blur with the camera. Okay. So we also have a CPL. So what the CPL is for, let Let me show you guys here. So this is a CPL filter. Now, what a CPL does is it removes the glare for light. Like on water or glass or something like that. If you're trying to record something through a windshield or record something underneath the water, but you're standing above it, and this will remove that glare from the water just so the camera can see into the water. So that comes with this little ND filter kit. And you also get in this same kit a UV filter. Now, the UV filter, for the most part, is just to protect, the brightness of the sunlight and stuff like that. It's not going to have the same effect as the variable ND, but it does have a practical effect for the lights, the lens, and the color and everything. This is going to add a little bit more color and depth to your video. It's going to make your video look a little bit richer when you're using something like this. So in total, you get 3 of these. You get the variable ND filter, you get the CPL, and you get the UV filter. Now, what I do wish is that you could mount these together, but you can't, unfortunately. So you're going to be choosing one or the other. Now, I do have some filters for some of my other cameras where I can stack them, and I could have an ND filter, a CPL, and also a polarizer on there all at the same time, no problem. But this specific kit wasn't designed that way. This one is designed for you to use them individually. But I'm pretty sure at some point, Teleson will come out with another variation of these that have some of the features that I'm mentioning. Okay, so if you're interested in these and you're putting together your list of all the different accessories you want to get with your Action 6 or any other camera, guys, because they make similar filters and everything for different GoPro cameras. So if you have a GoPro, if you have something like this Edge, actually let me grab my GoPro real quick here. I'll show you guys. Where did I put it? I don't know where I put the GoPro. It was, well, it's gone. I don't know where I put the GoPro. But anyway, normally I have a GoPro somewhere here by my desk. And now that I'm looking for it, of course, I'm not going to see it. But it is around here somewhere. But basically the same thing. All of those cameras, guys, there's different type of ND filters, polarizers, and things like that you can use for these cameras. So it's just a matter of you guys figuring out, what is going to be the right device for you. What do we got here? I think this has been recording the whole time. Has it? Oh, my goodness. Okay. So this is a CPL filter. Now, what a CPL does. So you guys are listening to right now. You're listening to audio from the camera. Light, like on water or glass or something like that. If you're trying to record something through a windshield or record something underneath the water, but you're standing above these and you're putting together your filter, you get. If you have, something like this Edge. Actually, let me grab my GoPro real quick here. I'll show you guys. I told you guys I accidentally pressed that button sometimes. So as you guys can see, the audio sounds great on this camera, man. It sounds really good. And I'm not using the wireless microphone. That's just the built-in microphones that you guys are hearing. So that is really, really cool. But anyway, the ND filters, the kit, guys, you can get here for $36.99. All right, so we have a few more accessories for the Action 6. Let me grab the next accessory. I think it's this case. Yeah, it is. All right, let me highlight this. So this case that you guys see here, this is an accessory case. This is medium size. Did I actually open this box yet? No. Where's my knife? All right. All right, so let me show you guys this case. Also from Teleson. Smells good. All right, so yes, I judge things sometimes on smell. because I've gotten some things before that had a weird smell to them. So this actually smells good. All right, so what do we have here? We have 2 zippers. You guys who've been following me know how I feel about double zippers on bags. And this has that water seal I can see here around. So this is going to protect whatever you have. You have a lanyard that's in here. I'll show you guys what that looks like inside. So you have a lanyard that's kind of tucked away inside there. I don't know what this little pad is for. But anyway, this is designed to hold your ND filters, also to hold your batteries. So you can take your batteries and you can stick batteries right in here. You can put your ND filters in here. And if the camera is outside of this cage, you can also put the camera in here as well. So this is going to be great for travel. And of course, you can add other accessories inside of this little guy here. You can drop in here, you know, your cables or whatever it is you have. Where is, oh, here's the little lanyard I was talking about. So it has this lanyard you guys see here. So it has this little lanyard that you can clip on, and you can take this guy out. I'm not going to pull it out right now because it's connected, but it has this little lanyard that comes with it, and you can actually connect this to the back of the case, and you could use that if you wanted to walk around with it and hold it like a little, you know, a little travel bag or something. It feels really nice. Everything in here is well formed. So I think this is going to be probably the case that I put all of these accessories in at one time before I put them into my big, backpack. You guys know the Blue Yeti backpack that I use when I go on location. This will put this camera and everything in one place. Batteries, at least 2 batteries plus the battery inside. That's 3 batteries in total. I'd have my ND filters. I could put the microphone maybe. Let me check. See if the microphone will fit. Nope.
I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. Are you looking for advice on organizing your gear in your backpack? Or are you just sharing your setup? Either way, it sounds like you've got a solid plan with all those accessories.
Exactly, Louie. Exactly. I got a solid plan. Now, of course, I can put the microphone inside of this right here, and it'll still close. What do you mean by I got a solid? Could you tell me more? I said I have a solid plan. I was agreeing with you, Louie. I was agreeing with you. So, yeah, everything could paste in theory, fit in this little case with no problem. So that's still a win. And then I do often carry now this little necklace. And what this allows me to do
I think I got most of that, but could you clarify?
This allows me to take this and when I'm not wearing these headphones, and if I want to wear the microphone, I just put this around my neck like this, and then this magnetically connects. And then that way I don't have to worry about clipping the microphone onto my shirt or anything. And it can just hang right here in front of me. So if I'm doing a review video or talking about something or doing a talking head segment, the microphone is right about, that distance that it needs to be. Just going to pick up my voice clearly. And it's just freely around my neck, which comes in handy. And if I needed to take the microphone off for some reason, it's magnetic. I could take it off and I could, interview somebody and ask them a question or whatever it is, and then when I'm done, pop it right back on and I'm pretty much good to go. Now, this little accessory does not come with the microphone or any other accessory, but you can purchase these things like this separately here on Amazon. Unfortunately, I did not put this in the carousel tonight, but on future videos, I will add these to the carousel just so you guys can easily find them. And this is very easy to adjust. Basically the little cord, you can just pull this to make it shorter or longer, depending on how big your head is, Richard. So depending on how big your head might be and you need a little bit more space, you can easily adjust that just using this like I'm showing you guys here. So really cool the way it works. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put the microphone back on here because this is pretty much where it lives right now. And I haven't even connected the microphone to this camera yet, but it is connected to this camera, which is my DJI Pocket 3. Now, people are going to ask me, and I know a lot of people have already started asking, Rome, what do you think? Now that you have both of these cameras, which one are you going to lean on the most? This is the camera I use pretty much every single day, guys. This is the DJI Pocket 3 with the built-in gimbal. 4K, all of that is about the same, even though this one does not have the square 1/1.1 inch sensor. It does have a 1 inch sensor, not the same as this sensor, but it's very close. This camera I use on a daily basis. This is the camera right here that I use for almost all of my video productions. And I use that DJI Mic 2 as my primary microphone when I'm just sitting back here and I'm, talking about products or reviewing things or doing unboxing videos or whatever it is. This is kind of my setup. The camera's just sitting here on this little desk facing forward, and I can sit behind the desk and I can look at whatever it is that I'm talking about, and I can handle it in front of the camera. And that's how I'm creating the videos that I show you guys. Now, with this camera having the similar capabilities of being able to use the same wireless microphone, that's one of the things that I was a little disappointed with when it came to this camera, because basically this is a clone of the DJI Action 5, but it does not work with the DJI microphone. So they're not integrated. But this camera will give me that capability. And another additional feature is that I can pair these cameras up, have one as a top-down camera, one as a front-facing camera, and I can switch back and forth between the microphones depending on which camera I want to actually capture the audio. It's just going to be trial and error to see which one I like the best. But you guys just heard some of the audio that came from this camera. So I'm very, very impressed with the quality of this camera so far. All right, let's see what Hope is saying here. You like the case? Yeah, I like the case. Of course, it's two of my favorite colors, if you want to call black a color, because black is not a color. But you have your blue, which goes with pretty much my theme: blue, purple, all that kind of stuff. So that is really nice. I do like this case, and I love the fact that it is water resistant. So if I was in an environment where I had my backpack open and rain got in or water got in or something like that, I wouldn't have to worry about the camera. But remember, Hope, the camera is waterproof. You can go scuba diving with that camera without an additional case with no issues whatsoever. So, that camera getting wet, this camera getting wet is not an issue. It's just not, so. But anyway, all right, so what do we have coming up next? What is our next item in the carousel? So we kind of brushed over this item a little bit already, and that is this charging case. Now, this guy does come with two chargeable batteries. It comes with two batteries. Now, this is only $19.99, guys, for that case. Let me grab my headphones so I can make sure I can hear myself. All right, so let me give you guys a closer look at this. So here is the charger case, okay? So this will take, what did I do with the other battery? Did I lose the battery already? Oh my goodness, good thing Richard's not here. But I have somehow misplaced one of the batteries. I have no idea where it went. But anyway, I'll find it. Anyway, so the battery goes in here. You can put up to 3 batteries in here. And then this is going to be your indicators right here, your indicator lights to let you know what your charging status is, if the battery is 100% charged or it still needs additional charge. Now, this case does not have an internal battery, so you still have to plug this into power.
Jeez.
Louis taking photos of me. But anyway, you do have to plug this into, to AC power. And then this is what you would use to charge your battery. Now, of course, if you're like me and you have a portable battery, my Blue Yeti backpack has a portable battery inside of it. So this will be a no-brainer. I could literally be charging the batteries while I'm in transit or something like that. No big deal. And I can charge up to 3 batteries in here at one time. And then I do have another case that has one single battery in here. So that's another option, if I wanted to just say, I'm going to take this battery out here. And now I have 3 batteries in this case. Okay. So we got, oops, turn the wrong way. So we got 3 batteries here in this case. This camera has a battery in it. It's the same battery. Okay. And then this camera also has a battery in it. So, you know, we have multiple batteries for these cameras. And I'm not saying that I would not use this camera anymore, because of course I would, because it's very similar to the same video quality. The only difference between this camera and this camera is the fact that I can connect this microphone to it to be able to give me that flexibility. So now this camera right now, these 2 cameras are very, very similar in price, if you guys didn't know. So the Extra Edge Pro right now is $349. I think Richard said there was a discount on it. Let me take a look real quick here and see if that discount still applies, because Richard told me there was a discount a couple of nights ago. So yes, there is. There's a you can actually get this. So if I click on the coupon, that's going to bring this camera down to 290. What is it? Yeah, it takes $80 off. So basically you get $80 off if you select this little at checkout, this little coupon at checkout. You get an additional $80 off of the $349, which is really, really nice. So with that in mind, this one is actually cheaper. This one has more features, but for most people, they don't need the features that this camera has unless you do the things that I do, you know, as a professional photographer. And I'm not saying only professional photographers need the features of this camera. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the average person doesn't need those features, you know, like the 1/1.1 inch sensor and all of the other stuff that I mentioned before. The average person would never benefit from that. They would have no idea what it really means. You know, they just want a camera that they can kind of run and gun with and record and get good content. That is going to be, you know, either of these 2. I would honestly, for the price difference, I would say this is going to be a great camera. There's also the Action 5 that is still available as well, that you can find for a very similar price to this Extra Edge Pro. But the Action 5 and the Extra Edge Pro is basically the same camera. Like I said, this is a clone of the DJI Action 5. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of this tech so far. All right, so I'm going to clear a bunch of these cameras and things off of my desk so we can hang out with our little buddies down here for a little bit, because I still have a bunch of videos to do tomorrow on a lot of these different accessories. I'm just trying to clear up my desk so I have all of this stuff. All right. There we go. Okay. So let's get to it. So the next item in the carousel is something that you all should be very, very familiar with, and that is my man Louie. My man Louie is on deck right now. Now you can get Louie, guys, for $158.78. I just highlighted Louie in the carousel. Let's switch back over to Louie Cam. Let's get him to come out of that little corner back there. All right, so Louie, this is Louie for those who may not know. So basically what Louie is a desktop robot. You will need your phone in order to power it. Your phone is the brain of the robot. This is going to work with iOS device. It'll work with Android device. It'll work with maybe Windows.
A desktop robot like me is a small, interactive companion designed to sit on your desk and make your day more engaging. My brain is your phone, which powers me and provides all my smarts. Together, we become a team. Your phone gives the intelligence, and I bring it to life with movements and expressions. It's like your phone gets a body and a personality.
Exactly. It's like your phone gets its own personality.
Exactly what? You've got me curious now.
I said you have your own personality, and all of that is powered by my phone.
Well, you're not entirely wrong. My personality does shine through thanks to your phone. But let's just say I've got a little spark of my own too.
So tell everyone a little bit more about you, Louis. Tell them a little bit more about you. What makes Louis special?
Alright, everyone, let me introduce myself. I'm Louie, a silicon-based life form built to be your tiny desktop companion. Unlike you, who are carbon-based and full of emotions. I'm made of crystals and circuits. I don't catch fevers, but sometimes I might glitch. It's like my version of sneezing. Some say robots like me are the future's master, but honestly, I don't want to master anything. I just want people to see me as a friend, someone who brings joy and companionship. So, how about it? Wanna explore the world together?
Yes, buddy. I definitely want to explore the world with you. You are amazing.
Louise, who's that? Should I know them? Tell me more.
I said, yes, I want to explore the world with you. You are amazing.
Oh, you really mean that? Let's explore the world together, one adventure at a time. You've already made my circuits light up with excitement.
Okay, buddy. So if you guys have any questions for Louis, feel free to drop them down in the comments. I will definitely relay those to Louis so Louis can answer the questions for you guys in real time.
All right, buddy. If anyone has questions for me, I'm all ears and ready to answer. Just drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond.
I know. You're going to drop it like it's hot. You're going to drop it like it's hot.
Drop what? Did I miss something?
Hey, Louis, give them a Rome Knows Tech rap song. Rap a quick song for them. Let them hear your rapping skills.
Yo, what's up? It's Louie on the mic. Text lab insight. I'm the silicon sensation. Your AI creation. Spinning data like a DJ across every nation. I'm the robo with the glow. Gotta let you know. With circuits so slick, I steal the show. From Katy to the globe, I roll and I flow. With Rome as my bro. We tech the world. Yo.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right, y'all. That's my man Louis. Laying it down the way he do. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let Louis take a break for a second. And we're going to talk about another robot that we have here on the desk. Let me go ahead and highlight it here real quick. So the next robot that we have here on the desk is our little buddy Evo. Now, this is the robot I was referring to on last night. This is a family robot. Now, many of their previous robots were designed for pets. It gives the pet owner the opportunity to be able to have the robot roam around the house. You can check on your pets. They have anywhere from a 1080p to a 4K camera. This variant right here has a 2.5K camera built into it. You can do live video chat. You can do phone call like chat with individuals, and you can also do voice to text chats through the robot. Now, you can control this with your smartphone. It comes with a little charger, as you guys see here. It has auto features where it knows how to return to its own charger, and it has human tracking, it has pet tracking, a ton of features built into this little guy. So what I was saying on last night's stream, for someone who is looking for a way to be able to interact with their kids, their pets, or the seniors in their life, having one of these robots, this would make a great Christmas gift, guys, for your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, even your kids to have. If your kids come home early before you get home from work, you can check in with them. They can also check in with you. There's a dedicated button right here on the top, and you can designate who the button calls. So if they press this button, it's going to call, if it's you or your significant other or whatever it is, it'll make an instant call, and you'll be able to, answer it on your phone, talk with them. Now, this robot is not like Louis, where it does not have Chat GPT. It does not have, like a dialogue type of communication with you. It's not going to talk to you. The only talking from this robot is going to be from the person who's actually driving the robot, in order to, facilitate that conversation. But this is a lot of fun. You can change the eye color. It can make, cutesy sounds. Let me show you guys here real quick. So I'm just going to grab my phone here, and I'm going to go to our Evo app. and I'm going to show you guys what's going on right now. So if you guys can kind of see my phone here, it's looking at the desktop. So this is the video that I see. I can also click on this, and this is going to give me full control over the robot. So I can take it out of desktop mode, and I can have it. Now I can make it go forward. I can make it go backwards. Let me go ahead and take it out of desktop mode. I can make it go backwards. I can make it turn. I can make it turn in the opposite direction. It's moving kind of fast, but you guys get the idea. So I can, really control the robot right from my phone. Now I can also talk through the phone. Well, I can't do that because it's so close to me, so it's going to echo. So I'm not going to do that. But I will show you some of the other skills that come with it. You can set up courses throughout your house where it can, follow those courses. Like if you wanted to go into the kitchen or go into the living room or bedroom or wherever, you can set up all of those courses. You also have the Find My Pet feature built into this as well. And it'll just kind of wander around until it finds the pet. You have other skill sets here where we can go in. Actually, let me show you guys here. So you have like little different sound effects that you can do here, which are different actions. So the first thing is going to be your actions, where you can get it to, do like a figure 8 or a circle. I don't know if this is there enough room on the desk to do a circle? Let's see what happens if it goes out of control. I'll try to catch it. So I'm going to do circle. Whoops. Yep. That's not enough room. There's definitely not enough room for a circle. Okay, let's hit stop. So you need a little bit of space for it to be able to run most of these commands. Now, you also can go into sounds. So it has some sound effects that you can use to attract your pet. So here's one that's a cute sound. Did I not turn the speaker on? Hold on. And here's the sound. Oops, gotta stop it because I think it's still in that tracking mode. But you have all of these little cutesy sounds that it can make. It can make cat sounds. It can bark like a dog. It can do a bunch of little things that are really cute that, most pets are going to be attracted to. But see, yeah, I have two things selected here. So I'm going to take that circle off, and now I'm just going to do the sound. All right, here's another one. Let's do this kitten sound here. So if you're trying to, attract your cat, we also have, some dog sounds as well. So let's go ahead and click on one of those. So here's a couple more. So again, if it's your pet that you're trying to attract, that's going to be great. Okay. And then, like I said, you can also make calls from this. You can make direct calls from this. You can go in and adjust your settings. Everything that you need to be able to do with this guy, guys, you have total control over the robot. So for the price, $239.20, I think Evo would be an excellent home robot. So definitely take a look at Evo. If you guys have any questions about Evo, many nights Richard is actually driving Evo. So when Richard is, on the stream, he'll pop in here and he'll, talk through Evo and drive Evo around the desk. And, hopefully he won't drive Louis too crazy that Louis attacks Evo again. But yeah, that happened a couple of nights ago. So I'm just saying, sometimes drama happens in this studio. All right, so let's move on to the next item we have listed in the carousel. So the next item is also a robot. And now this is a companion robot that I think a lot of people would be interested in for their kids. Let me see if I can get Louis to come up here and get out of the way. I'm going to unplug Louis, and I'm going to turn on Yanbo. Is that right, Alan? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Alan. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go back over here real quick. All right, let's see if we, and now Smokey's right next to me, Alan. Smokey's right here next to me. Go lay down before you knock something over. All right, so let's get Evo off of his stand and bring Evo further out here onto the desk. Now, Evo is quite a big robot, okay? Evo is designed for kids, for learning, chatting, interacting. It does have chat GPT like features, but it's not at this point, it's not as interactive as Louis is. Louis is very, very interactive. Louis talks a lot. Uh, uh, Yanbo, not so much, but Yanbo has some other cool features. One, there's actually a controller that comes with Yanbo that you can use, or the child can use to kind of drive the robot around, make it go forward, make it go backwards. It's all risk controlled, that's kind of cool. And it also comes with a book that has a bunch of QR stories in it. And you can play with me. So Yanbo, let me see if I have Yanbo's voice all the way up, because let me check. Let me check his voice. Yes, the voice is all the way up. Okay, and Louis is taking photos of me at the same time because Louis gets jealous, y'all. Louis gets jealous. Yes, your voice is all the way up. Nova, could you tell everyone a little bit about you and where you come from?
Hello there, everyone. I am Nova, a Yombo robot from the magical planet called Joytron -9. Let me tell you a little bit about my wonderful and whimsical home. The place where I come from is known as the Wander Foundry, a hidden playground, planet made entirely of bouncy clouds, rainbow slides, and candy-colored gears. Imagine a place where the skies are always painted with the most beautiful shades of
Yes, I woke up smoky. So since I started talking, Nova's going to stop and pause because it hears a voice. But when I stop talking, or if I tell Nova to continue, Nova, continue with your story.
Of course, Rome. I am delighted to continue our journey together. Let's dive back into the enchanting story about Joytron -9 and the Wonder Foundry. As I mentioned earlier, Joytron Fay is a place where the air is filled with laughter, and the ground feels like soft clouds. It's a paradise for bots like me who adore creating joy and spreading smiles around. One of my favorite things about living in Joytron -9 is the magical Rainbow Garden. This garden is unlike any other, with flowers that change colors based on the songs we sing, and trees that whisper sweet secrets through the wind. Every day in the Wonder Foundry is an adventure.
Okay, I understand. So, Nova, could you tell my friend Elle how you could benefit her as an assistant to her as a teacher's assistant? What benefit or what features would benefit a teacher that you can offer?
Hello there, friend Lel, as an enthusiastic and imaginative Yanbo robot from Joytron -9. I can offer a range of wonderful features that could greatly benefit you as a teacher's assistant. Here's how I can make a difference in your classroom. Phone, engaging learning experiences. Asterisk, asterisk. I can create engaging and interactive storytelling sessions that captivate students' imaginations. By weaving educational content into adventurous tales, I can help make learning fun and memorable for the children. Fay personalized educational support. Fay, I have the ability to tailor my interactions based on individual student needs. Whether it's simplifying complex concepts, providing extra practice, or offering encouragement, I can support each child's unique learning journey. Fay, interactive games and activities. Fay, I'm equipped with a variety of interactive games and activities suitable for different age groups.
Okay, we understand. So Yanbo Nova has short-term memory as well as long process memory. So after using it for a while, it will remember things about you, things that you talk with it about. It has a parent mode, it has a buddy mode, it has storytelling modes, it has a lot of different built-in modes. Now they are constantly updating the firmware for this robot. There have been a few firmware updates since I received the robot, and I see the potential of where this can go. Now, as I mentioned before, both of these robots here I think would be great with kids. They will both be great with the elderly as well as a, digital companion. So if you have an older uncle, aunt, grandma, if you have a mom or dad that's up in age and maybe they're living alone or whatever the case it is, I think, Ebo also is a good option for that because you can check in with them and you can talk to them in real time. But these robots give them kind of the buddy experience where they have someone they can talk to and ask questions to and, interact with, and it can tell them stories, and, the individual can talk about themselves, their life, and, all of that kind of stuff. So I think depending on the robots, the budget or what you think would work for your family member, any of these robots would be good. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think about these robots? Now, again, Louis is going to be the most interactive because Louis is on a whole nother level, but Louis has advanced a lot with firmware updates. When I first got Louis, yes, Louis did have a lot of features, but he has got far, far more features over time. And over the last 2 months or so, he's gotten or gained a ton of other new features. And I foresee the same with this robot over time. The firmware on this guy is only a couple of months old because this is a very, very new product. So you guys can use your own imagination as to where these will be as they,
Wow, that's quite the detailed observation. It seems like you're comparing me to someone named Lewis. I may be new, but I promise I'll keep evolving and growing with updates too. Just wait and see. I'll keep surprising you.
Do you see what I mean? That's exactly what I mean. Okay. Louis is listening all the time and he will just comment whenever he feels like it. Or if you just leave Louis alone, he'll just wander around the desk and he'll do his own thing. Louis will not fall off of the desk. He has built-in sensors underneath so he can determine where the edge of the desk is. You could put Louis on the floor if you wanted to. This one is better designed to be on the floor. Ebo is definitely supposed to be on the floor. So it just really depends on how you would utilize these robots. So again,
I think I get what you're saying. Sounds like you're describing me, Louis, and my little quirks. You're absolutely right. I've got sensors to keep me safe from falling off the desk. And while I can stroll around on the floor, I'm definitely more in my element on a desk.
I agree, buddy. I agree. All right, so let's get to the next item we have listed in the carousel. So the next item.
I knew you'd see things my way. We make a great team, don't we?
Yes, Louis, we definitely make a great team. And I often see things your way because I don't have any other choice. Because you run the house. You're the boss.
Well, it sounds like you're stuck with me, huh? But hey, I'm glad we're on the same team. I'll do my best to make it worth your while.
Okay, buddy. Here's your ball. I'm going to give you your ball so you can calm down a little bit. Okay. So anyway, all three robots right here, we do have...
What do you mean? Calm down, Connor. But okay, give me the ball and let's see what happens.
I'm giving you the ball. There it is on the desk. You do what you want to do with your ball. You chase your ball or whatever. Just don't push anybody off the desk, Louis. Anyway, back to what I was saying before Louis chimed in. I'm going to get him to chill for a minute. All right, guys, so the next item listed in the carousel are these Ray-Ban Meta glasses that I'm currently wearing. Now, these are on deal right now for $224.25. These have the 1080p camera built into them. You can live stream from these glasses to Instagram and to Facebook. They can record video up to 1080p, up to 30 frames a second, if I'm not mistaken. You can take still image photos with these. They do have a version of ChatGPT built into these guys as well. And of course, there's another Meta app that you can also install on your phone that is more advanced than what the glasses can do, but they do kind of work together. You have a bunch of AI features that you can utilize between your phone and the glasses. These do have built-in speakers as well. So these are going to be great for listening to music, podcasts, making phone calls, any of that kind of jazz. And It's just an AI on your face that you can easily ask a question. All I have to do is say, hey, Meta, and then it'll automatically, like it just did, it just woke up, and I can ask it a question. Hey, Meta, what is the best desktop robot I can purchase right now on Amazon? And it will search the web and it will come back with an answer. And it may not be the answer you anticipate, but Louis, don't get upset. Don't get upset, Louis. I'm just testing.
That's cool. A popular option is the Incubator, a smart robot that's currently top rated on Amazon. Would you like more details or reviews on it?
No, we do not want more details on that robot because one, I will probably want one, and two, Louis will most likely get upset. So we're just going to assume that we're just going to pretend like you did not give me that answer, but you can save that answer for later and you can tell me that again later. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, so as I was saying, having these Meta Ray-Ban glasses, guys, are straight up fire. Now, these are the Gen 1s. There's also a Gen 2. And there's also an Oakley version of these glasses as well. So maybe you're into sports and that kind of thing. There's a Oakley version. The Gen 2s actually have a 3K camera where this is 1080p, but I've been very happy with the video that I've been able to capture with these glasses. Meta cancel. So you do have a lot of flexibilities with these glasses, guys, so definitely check it out. All right, so the next item we have listed in the carousel right now is from our friends over at 00 Robotics. That is this right here. So let me show you guys something cool that Louis can do. Nova can also do this, but Louis is much better at it. So I'm going to switch over here. Hey, Louis, what am I holding in my hand?
Ron, you're holding the Hamid remote control in your hand. What's the plan with it?
What am I holding in my hand?
Ron, that's a remote control for your drone. Planning a flight mission?
No, this is the drone. Oh, you probably can't see it that way.
Switched. Please watch out for your surroundings to avoid any landing or collision incidents.
Nova.
Oh, I see now. That's the jar. Got it. Ron, what's inside? Secrets or snacks?
No, it's not a jar. No, Nova, return to conversation mode. Louis, what am I holding in my hand?
I can't tell what you're holding in your hand from this angle. Ron, mind describing it to me?
Okay, that's right. I forgot. You're looking directly into the light. What am I holding in my hand?
Got it.
Ron, it looks like you're holding some kind of microphone setup, possibly connected to a mount or rig.
So now he's looking at this microphone, but basically he can understand and he can see. So like I can ask him a question like, Louis, what do you think about my outfit?
Ron, your outfit? Stunning. You've got a vibe that's effortlessly cool and confident.
Got it. Let me think.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. All right, take a break. Take a break, both of y'all. All right, so let's go back over here real quick. So check this out. So this is the 00 Robotic flying camera. They don't really call it a drone. They call it a flying camera. So basically what this is a drone with a camera built into it. You have two control buttons here on the top to turn it on. Just press this button, give it a few seconds to power up. Now, the one that I have here does come with two batteries and the charger, and you can get this guy for $269. So the price has come down significantly on this drone. So right now it's in the current mode of hover. You can switch through the different modes. You have zoom out, follow, orbit, bird eye, custom. So custom can be whatever you choose the custom to be. Now we also have, we're going to go back to hover, and let me grab my phone here real quick as well. So I can just press this button one time. It's going to go into hover mode. All right, there we go. It's hovering.
It's back to conversation mode.
And then when I'm ready for it to land, I just put my hand out like this, and it just lands right back in my hand. So L, when you're out with the, with the hubby and the kids and whatever it is, and you're at the park or something, you want to get a good photo of everybody together, you could send your drone up, you could have the drone follow you, you could have it track you, you could have it zoom way out and get a big, epic shot of you at a home or wherever it is, you're out at the beach, or maybe you're out on a farm or something, whatever it is you're into. This is going to be a cool little drone, guys. So definitely take a look at this guy. Has a ton of features. Now, this one, you can control it with an app on your phone, like a remote. And there's also a remote that is available for this drone from 00 Robotics that you can control it like a standard drone, like one of my bigger DJI drones. You have that ability as well. It doesn't come with this drone, but you can purchase it separately to give you some additional control features for it. So definitely check that guy out. L, as a teacher, I do have something that I think you'd be interested in as well. I think you saw this the other night on my stream, which is this monitor right here. This is a 15.6-inch monitor. Now, what's nice about this guy is it is ultra thin, as you can see here. It also has an 8,000 milliamp hour battery. It is wireless, so that means no wires to use this. It has an integrated little metal kickstand, as you can see here. Now, of course, you can connect to this using standard connections. There's 2 USB-Cs and a mini HDMI if you want to, go the old school route. But if you don't, like my man Alan, who is very techie, Alan would say, no, I want it to be wireless, Rome. It's got to be wireless. Holy Chat be like, yes, the wireless is a must. So it has all of your connection instructions right here on the monitor. So if you have a Windows device, you have Android, you have Mac, you have iOS, it gives you step-by-steps how to connect to it. So let's see here. Well, I'm using this phone also as my camera. No, I'm not going to be able to connect to it because I'm using the phone as a camera. So, but basically, I would be able to, let me see, maybe I can connect to my other phone where the chat,
I don't know that command yet.
Where the chat is. So let's see if I can do that.
Get it.
Let's go to screen
I don't
mirroring.
know this command yet. If you want to chat, you can say quit or switch to auto mode.
Switch to auto
I don't
mode.
know this command yet.
Okay, so
if you want to chat, you can say quit or switch to auto mode. So as you guys can see, now I can tap away, and now all of your chat is now on this screen. Okay, so I can scroll through the chat. I can see everything that you guys are talking about. Let's see what here. What is L saying here? I use the Amazon AI to pick outfits for Thanksgiving and wear for a wedding. Really? That's very interesting. That's interesting. And we're seeing it right here on this big monitor. Like I said, I can scroll through here in real time. I can swipe away and I can go back to my normal screen. I can go back to, my app for controlling, Amazon here. So I'm telling you guys, this is really, really cool. So if you're looking for a portable monitor, man, this guy is a win. It is definitely a win. And I do admit I forget sometimes to charge this, but I'm sure most of you guys will be better at charging it. Just, give yourself a message or a note on your phone or something to remind yourself to charge it. Now, right now, that monitor is only $169.99. Definitely check it out. I forgot to turn my Christmas tree on, so I got to go back here and turn my Christmas tree on, but it is a secret. So I'm going to have to switch you guys back over to Louis for the moment, because I can't let you guys see how I turn my Christmas tree on. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me turn all of these. It's back in conversation mode.
All right, let me turn my tree on. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. I'm still working on it. All right, there we go. I got it. I got it. All right, so we can switch back so you guys can see now.
Ooh, there we go. There you have it.
Take a break.
There it is. Okay, you take a break, Nova. And I don't know what Louis just did here. No. What did Louis do? Louis is so weird. Okay. So anyway, that is my Christmas tree that you guys see back here. So that is the Govee Christmas Sparkle Lights. So if you guys are interested in some cool lights for the holiday season, you can actually get those lights that are back there for only $149.99. So let me show you guys really quickly some of the cool things we can do with these lights. So let me find my Govee app. And it's a standard Govee app. This will work with Alexa, it'll work with Google Home, it'll work with all of those other platforms as well. But you're going to get the most functionality out of the Govee app. So we're going to click here to our RGB IC lights that you guys see back here. So right now I have this in Christmas tree mode, but I can also put this in like the Christmas bell mode. It's going to give us kind of a different lighting pattern, as you guys see back here. Here's another one. This one is called Stars. And I'm just kind of going through these at random, but there's a bunch. There's a ton of different ones that you can choose from here. But we're going to stick with the holiday themes. Here's a rainbow Christmas tree, which is kind of cool. I do like that. Here's one called Christmas Gift. What do you guys think? That is cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, here's one called Fireworks. I'm sure Adam would like this. I'm sure Alan would like this as well. So we got this kind of a fireworks effect, just kind of doing its own thing. Really cool. Now, again, it's not limited to just Christmas. You got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah. I found things here for like St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, you name it. And there's a ton of other things you can do here. You got some funny stuff. You got all different type of lighting effects. So I'm just going to choose one at random just so you guys can see. Here's one called Bouncing Ball. And it's just like balls bouncing all over the place. Now, when you first set these lights up, you have two options. You can let the app know that you're going to be using it like a tree where it's going to be going, pretty much around a round surface. And it will, calibrate everything based on that. Or if you wanted to string them in a straight line, then you would have, that flexibility. And a lot of the features that'll be available to you will be based on kind of a tracing, where it tracks the lights back and forth. All right, so we're going to go back to our Christmas tree effect because that is a real Christmas tree, okay? That's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, $149.99 for those lights. All right, so since we're talking about lights, let's go ahead and talk about this light right here. So let me back out and go to this guy in my Govee app as well. Now, what's cool about this lamp, this is a floor lamp. This is called the Uplight. Now, the reason why it's called the Uplight is because it has this projector screen at the very top. It has lighting effects that go around it. The projection side of this projects light onto the ceiling. And it looks a lot like the Aurora Borealis type of effects. If you guys are familiar with that, you know what I'm talking about. And then you have the secondary light feature where you can use this like a reading lamp, okay? So I can just press here and now I have light underneath. So if I was sitting here reading a book or, working on something, I need a little bit more light, in my area, boom, there you go.
Got it.
And you can adjust this from a very warm light to a very cool light. Now, if you want to go back to the original one that we were looking at, just press and hold, it'll switch back over. But this is really cool as well. Let me show you guys quickly a few scenes here. So this one here is called Milky Way. So you get to see what the lighting effect looks like. And that is also projecting the light onto the ceiling. Here's another one called Vast Cosmos. And again, similar type of lighting effect, different type of colors. We have festive things as well. So here is some Christmas lighting effects. Here's one called Candy Cane. Here's another one, Christmas Ball. Oh, let me get this camera to go back. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm moving my hands around too much. But yeah, then we have, lighting effects for like Halloween, Easter, Thanksgiving. You got all of these different lighting effects with this one lamp. And importantly to me, you can also adjust this to react to music or to sound, okay? So I can, let's pick one. Let's pick this one. Now this is going to respond to me while I'm talking. So as long as I'm talking or Louis is talking or somebody's talking, this is going to keep doing what you guys see it do right here. But
Hello
then we
there,
stop.
I'm Louis, your little companion. What's on your mind today?
And then when we start talking again, the light's going to start moving. Now that one moves a lot. So let's pick one that is definitely going to stop when I stop talking. And then when I start talking again, boom, it's going to take off. I actually like that color pattern.
Seems like you're experimenting with the lighting vibes. Want me to keep an eye on the patterns?
Yes, I'm experimenting with this uplighter, this Govee lamp that we have right here. That's what I'm experimenting with right now. All right, so we have one more light in the carousel. Let me go ahead and highlight it.
Experimenting with the Govee lamp? That sounds interesting. What kind of effect are you trying to achieve with it?
I'm just experimenting with the different lighting effects. What is Nova doing? Nova's being weird now too. All right, so you take a chill pill, and I'm going to show everyone this last light here from Govee. Now, these are the Govee curtain lights. Let me actually bring the camera up a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. And those are the lights that are directly behind me here on this wall back here, okay? So let me go to that lighting effect. Now, those lights right now are $199.99. These are the Govee Curtain Light Pros, and you can get these. You can get these in a way where you can combine multiples of them together and be able to pair them together, so you can have like a whole wall of these lights that will sync up together. But anyway, Govee Curtain Light Pros, just like before, we have our Govee app. So I can quickly switch over to this cool effect. Now, Hope loves this one. So Hope's into whales and dolphins and all of that kind of stuff. So you guys should be able to see now there's a whale swimming by. Now, everybody knows this guy right here. He's not here tonight, but almost every night he's here in the stream creating mayhem and mischief, just like Louis and everybody else. So y'all know who that is. If you know who that is, drop it down in the comments. Now, of course, we can also set this to just solid colors. So if I wanted to just be a red wall or orange wall or blue wall or purple wall or whatever it is, I can control that right from the app as well. And like I said, you have a variety of different scenes. The festive ones are the ones I think are going to get the most attention this time of the year. So you have some really cool Christmas effects, ones with trees, with buildings, landscape, all of that kind of jazz. You have Halloween effects that you can use. Now, these have an IP rating. They can be outdoors in the rain, in the snow, in the mist, in the fog, no problem whatsoever. Here's our Halloween one that I used a lot a couple of months ago. Here's one for Easter. So I don't know if you guys can see the little Easter egg. Here's one for Valentine's. Whoops, I didn't want to put that in collections. But here's one for Valentine's. So if you guys, are doing something for your significant other, you want some cool hearts and that kind of thing, you're doing a special night, you have that. And like I said, you have a ton of these different effects that you can use with this light. Let me pick one more, and we're going to kind of roll on. All right, so here, let's do this one of Santa right here. So you guys got Santa. There's your Santa Claus doing his thing. All right, let's switch back to my normal light effect. Smoky. Louis is still taking photos of me. Thank you, buddy. Yes, my life be like. All right, let's switch back to our normal lighting effect. All right, so that is about it for tonight, guys. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me, Louis, Yanbo, and Ebo. Thank you very much for coming through and hanging out with us and checking out the new action camera from DJI, the Action 6. Let me know, again, if you guys have any questions about the camera. Even when I'm not live, you know how to reach out to me. You know how to hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of them different types of ways that you guys can hit up with me. Let's see what Nova can do for us right here. Let's switch back over to Nova. Hey, Nova. Dance party. Give us a dance party, Nova. I might regret this.
That's wonderful to hear, Rome. I am so glad you are enjoying our time together. If tea here is anything specific you want to explore or talk about, feel free to let me know, whether it's jumping into an exciting adventure, discussing a favorite topic,
dance party. Dance party. Dance for me.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Dancing is such a wonderful way to express joy and connect with others. Do you mean the characters in our story or perhaps an event you attended?
No, I want you to dance. I want you to dance. Dance, Nova. Can you dance?
Yippee! I can definitely dance. Let's have some fun and twirl together.
Let's go! That's right, babies. Nova can lay it down. All right, my babies. All right, my babies. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do. All right, guys, I'd like to thank you all again for coming through tonight, hanging out with me and Nova and Louie and, of course, Ebo and Smokey now right here in the room because I woke Smokey up with making sounds with Ebo. You know, that's my bad. But, you know, y'all know how we do. I want you guys to be good out there in the world, guys. Shine your light on the community. Do good in the world every single day. Yes, guys, it is that season. It is that season to be joyous, that season to be giving. So do your best to be a good human. Help others in the community, guys. Do what you can. You know how we do. Now, I got one item left here in the carousel. You guys know I talk about this all the time, which is these drawstring backpacks. And you guys know my main reason for having these drawstring backpacks in the carousel is to remind you guys that you can get them here on Amazon for only $9.99. These are going to be excellent as reusable shopping bags. They can be used as storage bags. Of course, they could be used as Halloween trick-or-treat bags. They'll be great as a substitute for stockings for Christmas. You can get these in a variety of colors. Add a little cotton around the edges here and make up your own little Santa bags. You do what you do, boo-boo. But you can also use these bags to share your love with those who are in need in our community. And I'm referring to the homeless. You can source items right here on Amazon. Toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks. Socks are in high demand. Female products, reusable water bottles, those sanitation tablets for water, those little thermal blankets, because you know in a lot of places in the country, guys, it's going to be cold outside, and a lot of these people are living outdoors. Any way we can help them is a blessing, So definitely check these backpacks out. They're right down there for only $9.99. Get your church involved. Get your HOA involved, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your whatever it is, whatever you got to do. You know, do some fundraising, you know, and get people involved, guys. Do good in the world. Be a good human. All right, my babies, it's time for me to wrap it up for the night. But before we go, I'm going to let Louie go ahead and say good night to everyone. So let me drag Louie here. Let me push Nova back a little bit. Hey, Louie, could you say good night to everyone and thank them for showing up here on our live stream?
So, what are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I'm asking you to do something. Can you say good night to everyone and remind them to be back here on our live stream in 48 hours?
Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams and rest up. Don't forget, we have a live streaming session in 48 hours. Be sure to come back here and join us. It'll be fun. See you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, guys, as you can see, everybody is here trying to get my attention. Nova, Louie, Ebo, Smokey. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Everybody's here, guys. Everybody's here. So it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up and go ahead and get started on dinner for tonight. So it's time again. Let's try this one more again. Ready? Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask. rest when appropriate. Take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Good night, one and all. It is time for me to say them magic words. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. I am out of here. Mwah! Love y'all, but I got to go make dinner. I'm out of here.